Volume is a big part in every trader arsenal. I know some traders who only use volume to take their trades. They have volume profile. They only look for a surge in volume before taking a breakout, and so on and so forth. As algo traders, of course, we have to test everything we read, we hear, we watch. And so in this video, I will try to see if volume has any effect on strategies. On your screen, you see the chart of the S&P 500 index represented by the E-mini futures, the daily session. And at the bottom here, we have the volume indicator. So if the volume is higher than the previous day, then it's painted green. And if it's lower than the previous day, then it's painted red. And the cyan indicator here is the 50-day moving average of this volume. Before I do any testing, I will show you how the S&P 500 drifts up every day, and it is behind the reason why I will only go long in the testing. The test I will do is we buy every day at the open and we sell at the close. This is the result of the test for the past 17 years, and we can look at the trades. We have 4,259 trades. That's all the days basically available. And on average, we're making $19. So this average is without deducting the slippage and commission. This is buying every day at the open, selling at the close. Of course, if I reverse this strategy, we can see it is exactly the opposite. And now we are losing $19 on average. But the edge is not only in making money, it's also in the win percent. You can see here, the win percent is 45. And when we are long only is 55. This is very important point to take in. For every market, you need to test if the market has a tendency to go up or to go down or do nothing. Because basically then you can match the style of the strategy to that market. And of course, I've said this many times on the channel, but this test just proves that the S&P 500 tends to drift up all the time. And we know this because we're making $19 positive on average when we go long every day. Also, we are 55% win rate on the long side and 45% win rate on the short side. That means we have a 5% edge on the long side. So although I do this all the time, but based on this information, we will only test the long side on the S&P 500. To test the volume as a signal, we will buy whenever the volume is higher than the previous volume, and we will sell when the volume is lower than the previous volume. So this is an extremely simple strategy. We just want to see if the volume has any effect on the daily time frame. And this is our strategy applied to the S&P 500. When the volume red bar switches to green, we buy. And when the volume green bar switches to red, we sell. So you can see here again, green we buy, red we sell, green buy, red sell, green buy, red sell. And if we look at the stats for this strategy, we are making $48,000 and our drawdown is $94,000. We have 1,256 trades for the past 17 years, making on average $40. Again, not including slippage and commission, so this is a definitely losing strategy. But the volume did provide a little bit of an extra edge than the normal drift in the S&P 500. Remember, the normal drift is about $19 on average per trade, and here we are making almost double. The next test is I will flip this equation. So we will buy when the volume is lower than the previous volume, and we will exit when the volume is higher than the previous volume. And as you can see, when we switch from green volume to red volume, we buy, and when we switch from red volume to green volume, we sell. So same here again, same here. And if we look at the stats for this strategy, we notice that we are close in the number of trades, but now our average trade is more than double. And also we enhance our return to drawdown by a lot. But of course, this average is also not good, because if you include slippage and commission, then this is not a satisfactory number. The next test is we will use the volume average. And now you can see the indicator has changed. Basically, when the volume average is higher than the previous average, we paint the bar as green. And when it is lower, we paint it as red. And so the strategy will be, we will go long again when we switch from red to green, and we will exit when we switch from green to red. So basically, this is the strategy. When the average volume of the past 50 bars is higher than the average volume of the past 50 bars, then we buy and we sell when it is lower. And we can see here, when we switch from red to green, we go long. And when we switch from green to red, we exit. So even though these are lower bars, we are using the average, and that's why we are still in this trade. Same here, we switch from red to green, we go long, and we only exit when this bar switches to red. So even though the volume is dropping here, we are still in the trade. And if we look at the stats now, we can see we are half the number of trades, but double the amount of the average trade. So we enhance our strategy a lot by using the volume average. And if we look at the return to drawdown, now it's 2, and this average is usable in the S&P 500 once you include the slippage and commission. Win rate here is 64%. Next test is we will flip this. So basically, we will buy when the average volume of 50 bar is lower than the previous one, and we exit when it is the opposite. And we can see, so we go long when we switch from green to red, and we exit when we switch from red to green. So again here, green to red, we go long, we exit red to green. And the stats is not as good when we flip it. The next test we will do is if the volume is increasing for the last 3 bars. So if the volume is higher than the previous one, and the previous one is higher than 2 bars ago, 2 bars ago higher than 3 bars ago, so we have 3 up volume bars in a row, then we will buy. And when this condition is not true, we will sell. Now there is another smarter way to write this, which if I can replace this with count if. So basically, count if volume is greater than the previous volume in the past 4 bars if it is 3 times. So basically, I'm looking at 4 bars, and if in the 4 bars I have 3 of them where the volume is higher than the previous one, then the buy condition is true. So let's see the result of this test. So now we have 431 trades, and we are losing $70 on average. So of course, that's not good. And like we did with the rest, now we will flip the logic. So we will buy when this condition is not true, and we will sell when the condition is true. And now we're making, again, same number of trades, 430 trades, but now our average trade is amazing. This is definitely an average trade that can cover everything you throw at it in terms of slippage, commission, and outlier days. And if we look at the strategy performance, now we are making $189,000 with $53,000 drawdown. So that's 4-to-1 return to maximum strategy drawdown. And this is the curve we have. The maximum drawdown happened here in 2009, and the next one happened here in 2022. So it turns out that volume really has some built-in advantage that we can exploit to build a strategy. So in this case, we only use the volume as a signal. Of course, we have the advantage of matching the strategy to the indicator because I only picked long, and I know that all long strategies will work, but I just need to take care of the risk, which is the drawdown. Now we will go the other way, which is using the volume as a filter for your strategy. So we have the same conditions, but instead of taking the signal, we will just add it to another entry signal. And of course, to make things easy and we can compare it to other stuff that we did on this channel, I will use the RSI2 strategy because you already know how the strategy performs, and we can easily judge if the filter is good or not. So first we apply the RSI2 basic strategy. Basically, we go long when the RSI2 below 30, we exit when the RSI2 above 70. There are no filters, no slippage and commission. We are making $175,000 with $50,000 drawdown for the past 17 years, 3-to-1 return to drawdown ratio. About 400 trades with about $450 on average per trade. Our win rate is 75%. And now we have 6 filters to add to the strategy. So the first one will be if the volume is higher than the previous volume. The strategy is about the same. So 425, 362, let's see, return to drawdown. It's a little bit lower. So the filter doesn't have any advantage here. Now I will add the opposite of the filter, which is I will only take the trades if the volume is lower than the previous volume. And here we lower the trades and we increase our average trade to 500. Also, our win rate went up a little bit. So we look at the performance. We're still making 3-1. So the drawdown is a little bit lower, but also the profits is a lot lower. So again, I wouldn't use this filter. So now I will add the volume is up 3 bars in any 4 bars. So this is 219 and 407. Again, we are lowering the number of trades and lowering the average trade. The only thing is more important then is the drawdown is the same. So that is not usable. And let me do the opposite. So that means we are only going to take the RSI2 signal when in any 4 bars we don't have 3 bars up in the volume. So that's 320 trades, 545. And let's look at the return to drawdown. Return to drawdown now is 5. So this is definitely a good filter. So when we take any 4 volume bars and we look that there are no 3 bars going up, then we take the RSI2 signal. So on its own, the volume as a signal was working as a strategy. Also, when adding that to the RSI2, it's also producing good results. And finally, I will test the moving average of the volume. So we will take the RSI2 signal when the moving average of the volume, the 50 bars, is higher than the previous moving average. And here we are making 2-1, so that's definitely not good. The trade analysis is, the average is good, but you see here we are making less money and higher drawdown. And now let me flip it. So now we will take the RSI2 signal when the volume moving average is lower than the previous volume. And again, this is good. So we are making 118, but our drawdown went to 25. So that's why we have a 5-1 return to maximum drawdown. So even though we are making less money, but still this is a good filter. And we can take the trade analysis. We are making 200 trades and now our win rate is the highest, 77%, and our average trade is also higher. So 2 of our volume logic work great as a signal and as a filter. The volume average worked great really as a filter for our strategy, and the count number of bars of the volume is going up is good as a signal and good as a filter. To see the effects of more indicators, watch this video and I will see you there.